Good morning, everyone. I hope you're doing well today. I'm Taffany, and I want to welcome you to Tika's Gardens. Today in the garden, I am going to be finishing up the planting the dark red vinca around the circle bed, around the Barbados cherry tree right back there. So I got some more, so we're going to fill in those last empty spaces, and then whatever's left, I'm going to just put them somewhere back there in the bedroom garden. I'm going to show you that the other self-watering pot, this water sensor went off on that one, so I'm going to show you that one as well. I refilled it. And also what I didn't show on film on any of them is I went back later and I added some fertilizer into the water well there, the water chambers, so that they can also be receiving fertilizer as you know the water is seeping up through the root system. So I have to say that I am liking these pots. They are working well, but I will stick a clip in to show you when that one went off and the refilling and everything. So we're gonna get the dark red vinca planted. I'll show you the update on the second self-watering pot, and lastly we are going to be installing the control panel for the Imolaza sprinkler system that I showed you a couple of videos ago. My husband's going to do the installation, not we, but he will be installing the control panel for me, and then I'll walk through and show you how to set it up on the app. So that is what we're going to be doing in this video. So I want to thank you ahead of time for gardening with me. So let's head back to the bedroom garden and get that vinca put into the ground, and then I will stick the clip in after that to show you the self-watering pot, and then lastly you will get to see my husband installing the control panel. So let's get started. All right, I've got the last dark red vincas in, so let me show you what they look like. So first let me back up a little bit, and you can see that this is an entrance here to the bedroom garden. And they are sitting right in front of the double red knockout rose. Those are the two extra. And as we come on along the walkway to the circle bed that contains the Barbados cherry, I filled in this back spot here with 2 here and 2 there. So there are 2 in between each grass. That's the front. And that's the side. So that's that one, and you can kind of peek through over the orange tree, and you can see the 2 over there. That's it for the red vinca. So now I'm going to go ahead and drop in the clip showing you the pot, the second self-watering pot, so you can see how the sensor worked on that and me filling the chamber. So let's take a look at that real quick, and then we'll get started with installing that control panel for the sprinkler. Okay guys, if you saw the last video, the pot over on the patio, the light was flashing. Well, today I come out in the afternoon and this pot is now flashing, as you can see. So I'm gonna take out the water sensor, and as I look down in there, it is, of course, completely empty. So we are going to add water to that. So I have a container of water. I'm going to be ordering myself a watering can with a narrow spout so I can address this water issue for the hanging baskets and for this. And when I say water issue, I just mean the issue of trying to water this with something narrow enough to get in the pockets here for the water chambers. All right, it is now full. As you can see, we have a blue flashing light. And as soon as I put this in the chamber, you see the light has stopped flashing. All right, so it's full. And one other thing about these self-watering pots, whether it's the hanging basket or this, is that you can add fertilizer to your water so that your plants are not just getting water, but they're also getting fertilized at the same time. So now, if only I could make all the rest of my pots self-watering, that would take away a couple of my steps during the day when I have to come out to do maintenance in the garden. But I wanted to take a shot of that because I was coming out for the evening just to take a walk with Tika, and saw this one was flashing, so I wanted to share this with you as well. All right, so that's it. This is a clip from my previous video where I introduced to you the Imolaza sprinkler system. It is a automated system that you use in place of your other control panel, whatever other system you may have. And the concept is that it is programmable through an app so that you can control your sprinkler system wherever you are. It connects to various weather stations and things like that, so you can really program it based on if it rains or not, so that your sprinkler doesn't go off if it rains. You can set the time, you can set dates, you can do how much water saturation you want. You can do based on what kind of plants there are, annuals, perennials, shrubs, grasses. So it is very detailed in its programming, and this is a great concept. So my husband did the install. This is our sprinkler control panel that we have now. It was here when we got the house, obviously, and you can kind of tell that it's an older system. So basically, he removed the little box that covers the wires, and he removed all of the wires from the system. The main wire that you just saw him hold up is the wire for the power. So you will see him disconnect that, and then he will pull out all of the wires for the different zones and the main control wire. And then he will reconnect those to the Imolaza box. So I'm going to allow you to just kind of see what he does. He's the electronic engineer, so I let him handle the install while I just kind of watched. So it did turn out to be a pretty easy process. I was expecting it to be complicated, but it was pretty easy, and their instruction manual is very good at telling you what to do. So we're gonna just kind of watch my husband remove this old control panel and reattach the new one, and then we will go to the next step, and I will explain to you how this process turned out for us. Right now, what he is doing is pulling all of the wires out and getting them untangled so that he can get them out, and disconnect them much easier. So basically just untangling wires right now. These are the labels that came with the system, and these labels allow you to mark your wires so you don't get confused with which one is which once they're disconnected. Because if you disconnect all of your wires without labeling which one is the control wire and which one is for zone 1 or 2 or 3, you're going to have all these wires and not know where to connect them. So they have the labels for rain sensors, for your zones, for your control wires. So everything is there for you so that this process of installation can be as easy as possible. This is the template that they have in the package. It has the nail holes on it, so that way you don't have to guess at exactly where the nails are going to go. All you have to do is use the template, and what he is doing right here is just attaching it to the wall with some tape. Then he's going to mark it with a marker, the nail holes, and he's going to use that as a guide for where the unit will be hung. These are the screws and anchors that come with the unit. So he's going to go ahead and get this on the wall. This is the unit itself, and I have to say that it's a very attractive looking unit. It's very sleek and high tech. It also has a little screwdriver in the box. So you basically have everything you need inside of the box to get this installed. So he's going to pull the face plate off. Those are the connectors at the bottom in the green, where you connect your rain sensors, your control wires, and all your zones. That is the back where you can see the nail holes are. So he's just going to get this connected onto the wall, reattach the face plate after he's gotten all the wires on, and then we'll get to the programming part. But let's finish up this installation first. Now it's time to connect the wires. So we're going to get that part done, and we'll show you what it looks like once everything is all connected and installed. So as you can see, everything is connected now. So all that is left is to put the face plate on and test it out to make sure that it is working. And those buttons on it allow you to manually control each zone. Right now, all he's doing is just kind of making the area neat. He's using zip ties to just kind of tie the cables off to the side so they're not just hanging and in the way. Now it's time to program the app. I downloaded the app onto my phone, and when you come to the first page, it asks you to log in or create an account. So I created an account, and then I went to the next step, which was to add the control panel to your account. That's, that specific control panel, you add it to your account, and then from there you should be able to connect it to the internet and program it. So I've made my account. I did the account confirmation through email, and so now we're at the part where you are supposed to either add your device, or if you already have a device, you click on that. So you need to make sure that you have your Wi-Fi turned on, your Bluetooth turned on, and it requires a 2.4 internet connection. So if you have 5G, you might want, if you have the ability, you want to change your internet to 2.4 for the connection process, which is what we did. So you can see as I'm going through the steps, I selected to add device. It found the device. I selected it. At this page, you can rename it. I chose to just leave the name as is, just so I can just go through the steps. So I hit next, and now is the part where you try to connect it to Wi-Fi. And this is where we started having problems. So it's attempting to connect to Wi-Fi, and this is where we pretty much stalled. We tried over and over and over again to get this connected, and we were not successful. When you come to the box, when you want to end your first try, or your first try fails, you can come and reset the control panel. That is that little button that I just pointed out. So you push that and you hold it to reset, and then you can try to reconnect again. We did this multiple times, and yeah, let me tell you, we had very poor luck with getting this to connect. So what we ended up doing was using my husband's hotspot on his phone. It connected with no problems to the hotspot, which then took me to the next step where you saw all the zones. I clicked on zone 1 here just to kind of show you what it looks like. You can program each zone. You can add the picture of your yard, what for that zone in it, so it's identified. I did that. I took the picture, I added it to zone 1. You click apply, and as I said, you go through and you can choose all your settings for the zone. Here it asks you, is it cold weather grass, warm weather grass, are there shrubs, perennials, annuals, so on and so forth. For my zone 1, I chose shrubs, because that is along the foundation in the front and side of my house. So as you go to the next step, you have your various options of what type of soil is it, clay, loamy, so on and so forth. So you have all your various settings. You set your each zone this way. After you've got all of your zones programmed, then you can actually run through and do the test to make sure that your connection. You can do the test manually directly from the panel, which we did do a manual test of each we tested 3 zones just to make sure the connections were right. So everything was working manually. You can also, as you program each zone, run a test through the app as well. So I have, this zone 1. I've finished all of my settings for it. And as I said, each zone you just go through and you set it. This is what the box looks like when it is connected. That light looks white on a screen, but it is a blue light. So when it is fully connected to the internet, it is a blue light. And right now we are connected to my husband's hotspot. We're going to run this manual test here. So I pushed the button to choose the zone, and then I pushed the button, which is basically like a play button. And as we come outside, this is my zone 1. Zone 1 is working properly. So my husband did not mess up the connections. He did a wonderful job. So everything is connected and running. So as you can see, this is zone 1. Now I'm going to test another zone, and I'm learning how to do this, so bear with me. So I'm going to test zone 3 I've chosen here. Zone 3 is one set of our rotary sprinklers. So I wanted to test that since it's a different type of sprinkler head than the other. And you can see that our zone 3, which waters the grass and the circle beds around the tree, they are working. I have to step back so I don't get wet. But yes, so far so good as far as everything being connected properly and the zones are working. We're going to test one more zone here in the backyard. This is zone 5. These are rotary heads again, so just testing that out, and as you can see, these are working. Now keep in mind, we are still on my husband's hotspot at this point. This is what the control panel looks like when it is still working. The first page gives you the weather. You will be able to, below that, see the last run times and everything. You can set your schedule. There is also the settings menu there, so that's your schedule setting there. These are the different zones. You can activate, deactivate a zone, or you can choose to just run one zone. That's your settings right there. Now we eventually figured out that you can connect to your hotspot on your phone, and then once you've got everything connected and it's successfully connected, you can then switch over to your home Wi-Fi. We did that, and the connection held, and we ran more tests of a few zones, and everything worked fine. But then we lost connection. And we, to this point, have not been able to be reconnected with the unit. I've reached out to the company. They have offered to assist us. They have been so nice and so helpful. So at this point, we have only been able to successfully connect using the hotspot. So once we did get it connected, we switched over to the home Wi-Fi. I switched the home Wi-Fi to 2.4 gigahertz, and then once it was connected, it went back to its regular 5G. It worked fine. We got up the next day. We had to go run some errands, so we left, and when we got back, while we were out, let me start there. While we were out, I took a look at the app just to see if we could control it from away from home. And the control panel showed that it was offline. The app, of course, was not usable. The app did not allow me to control anything. So when we were pulling away from the house, I looked at the app, and the unit was connected. But once we were further up the street from our home, it was no longer connected and the app was, not useful. So this is where we are at this point. We have this great looking unit. The concept is nice, but for us, we are unable to get it to work. It definitely is not working for us while we're away from home. And at home, it is not holding its connection to the Wi-Fi. And we have not one time been able to connect the unit directly from our home Wi-Fi. And we have had to go through his hotspot and then instantly connect to the home Wi-Fi that way. So this is where we are. The unit itself, it's a great concept. And when it's connected, at least at home, it works great. Once we left home, the panel disconnected and the app was not usable. So if we are able to get this working, I will do an updated video to let you know. But as for now, I have to use the unit manually. It is not working as described. The connection is not it's not directly connecting, and it doesn't hold connection when you leave home, and we have not been able to test the app away from home. So again, as I said, we're going to be working with the company to see what we can do to get that fixed, and I will update you in a future video on that. Okay guys, well, it is a week later. I was going to stick this clip in a future video, but I decided to just go ahead and put it at the end of this video here with where we've been working on the Imolaza sprinkler. And let me tell you, it has been a week of trying, and the company has really been so gracious and so helpful with giving us try this, try that. So I appreciate the company. I have to say that I think that the system is a good idea, a good concept, but I don't think it's ready yet. It seems like, well, it's not, it seems, for what it has been doing for us in my home, it is able to connect to a hotspot on a phone, but it cannot connect to a more powerful internet, our home internet. It connects, but then it doesn't connect to the server with the company. So either it doesn't connect to our internet, or when we do get some kind of connection, it doesn't complete with the company, because the connection process is that it connects to your internet, then it connects to the server with the company, and then you're all good to go. Well, we can't get that process to work. So as of right now, I don't think that the system is really ready for the a high power internet that you would find in most people's homes. I'm sure some people have had luck with the system. I'm sure it's working great for some people. For us, we have not had any luck at all. So unfortunately, right now, I wouldn't give a full recommendation for it until they make improvements on the ability of this device to be able to connect to any kind of internet. But again, like I said, I love the concept, I love the idea, and if it works properly, it would be so great for me to be able to control my internet from inside the house or when I'm on vacation or visiting family. So unfortunately, I don't have a positive end result from this system for right now. So that's where things are, and so that's all I have to further to put in on this device. So all right, that's it, guys. Well guys, that is it for today. Thank you for gardening with me, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.